There is a phenomenon that has undermined the progressive left in recent years, but it's not unique to it. It's uncritical affirmation. It was Richard Rohr in his book, Breathing Underwater, that brought this to my attention. In our efforts in recent years to create safe spaces, we've waged a war on any notions or ideas that make us uncomfortable. What comes with that is this uncritical affirmation that we give to one another. Oftentimes, as a member of a marginalized group, or sitting at the intersection of more than one marginalized identity, we receive uncritical affirmation. What is implicit in this support is that it is a corrective to decades, even centuries of oppression. We affirm because these perspectives have been marginalized for far too long. I would agree we need these historical corrections, but it can go too far. And that's what Richard Rohr is arguing. And examples of excess and mere membership in a marginalized group sometimes makes one above reproach in any critique of that individual, even if it's rational and reasonable and true, is rejected as a form of oppression, as an ism or as a phobia. Then we seal ourselves off from critique. We risk elevating ourselves above others, inoculating ourselves against empathy through a sense of entitlement and superiority. As Harvey Dent says in The Dark Knight, we live long enough to become the thing we hate. I worry that this sanctimony on the part of progressives like myself has been one reason that we have failed to articulate a future that reflects constructive, productive roles for men. The backlash has been troubling. Young men who feel like they can't win, who can't make sense of the messages they are receiving, retreat to spaces like the manosphere or incel communities, where it is a whole other form of uncritical affirmation. In these extremist corners, it's always the fault of women, never the fault of men. As has been pointed out to me, it's a sad irony that young men seek these corners or these institutions or places like conservative evangelical churches or just more conservative traditional churches. And if you look around, this is one of the first times that young men are more religious than young women, but they're seeking community. They're seeking to be seen. They're seeking to have their confusion validated, their pain recognized. In a word, they're looking to be affirmed. So it's noteworthy that Richard Rohr's book, Breathing Underwater, is an introduction to the spirituality of 12-step programs like AA to non-addicts and alcoholics. I've long believed that the spirituality of these programs has a lot to offer people and can be an antidote to our political and social divisions today. Built into these programs is a balance between safe spaces and brave spaces. A safe space is a meeting where you can vent without critique or judgment, and that's crucial. That's the affirmation people need from community. But there's also sponsorship in these programs where a mentor can call you out on your character defects, your cognitive fallacies, and your bad behavior. That's a brave space. That's a space that we need to grow. And it's often elided from our extremist political corners, whether on the right or the left. This is a reason why I think the 12-step approach is a really valuable one. It presents a thorough form of self-examination, and we're led to confront our fears and resentments through this lens of instincts that might be threatened, our emotional or our financial security, our social status, or our desire for sex and romance. These are assurance, approval, affection, affirmation. That process leads us to question, what is my part in all this? We do that with a mentor or a sponsor whom we trust, and that is affirmation with a healthy critique. We all need it. We benefit from it, and we cut ourselves off from others if we're not seeking it. In the meantime, folks, do no harm, care for and protect others. If you like what I have to say, check out my books at tedneilauthor.com or wherever books are sold online. In the meantime, be kind to each other, listen to each other, and maybe pet a dog too. All right, have a good day.